How to use を中心に in Japanese. Noun を中心に is an N3 piece of grammar that's used to express that something is focused on, centered around, or mainly about the noun that comes before を中心に. 中心 by itself is actually a noun meaning the center, the middle, centered, or even emphasis. And it's often used to kind of mark the center point of something, like the center point of a sphere or a circle. When used in this grammatical expression, を中心に, it indicates that the part that follows を中心に is focusing on or centering around or mainly about the noun that comes before it. Like for example, to focus on studying Japanese grammar. So 文法を中心に focusing on grammar, 日本語を勉強する. I study Japanese. So this would be how you would say that you're studying Japanese with a focus on grammar. You use this grammar point を中心に. And so there are generally 3 different translations you'll see being used. Centered on or focused around, and mainly, like here, mainly in the Kansai region. So like here in Chrono Trigger, damage that spreads that's centered on the monsters. まずはモンスターを中心に広がるダメージだ. Or like here in Xenoblade, a sea of clouds that's spreading centered around the world tree.
見渡す限りの白。天空にそびえ立つ世界中を中心に広がる雲の海。
Or a smoke screen that gets cast that centers on the location that gets hit.
命中した場所を中心に煙幕が張られます。
Or like here in Police Noughts, something is being exhibited that is centered around the Apollo program.
ここはアポロ計画を中心に月面関係が展示されているコーナーだ。
And of course, depending on the situation, you could use centered on or focused on, whichever one sounds more natural. Like here in Nier Automata, to investigate focusing on the inside. It could be to investigate centering on the inside, but that doesn't sound so natural, so instead, focusing on. But it's really the center point of the investigation, right? Think of it that way.
わかった。私は内部を中心に調べてみる。
And you can also see the use for mainly. Like here, they're mainly active in Shibuya.
彼らは渋谷を中心に活動している。それだけが頼りの情報。
Or they flourished mainly around the royal family.
オルンブルクは忘れ去られた古代宗教。その司祭であった王族を中心に栄えた。
Or the things that are in this room are mainly food and materials.
はい。食料や資材を中心に、さらには銀貨なども含めると相当な量。
Or here a certain group is composed mainly of a certain ability user.
フォルス能力者を中心に構成された国王直属の部隊。それが王の盾だ。
Now you will also see を中心に used instead as を中心として and this is very, very similar. They behave in very similar ways, just like the te form. So centering on this, dun 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 dun. Focusing on this, dun 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 dun. Like here, focusing on the emperor, they're trying to increase efforts to overthrow him.
彼らは帝を中心として討幕勢力を増やそうとしているんだ。
And you'll also see を中心にする or を中心とする. And this can be used both before a noun in order to modify it, or it can be used just at the end of a sentence. Like here, singularities are focused on zero.
ゼロを中心とする特異点群から変異が強く観測されている。
Or something here being centered on Pascal.
機械生命体パスカルを中心とするコロニーの座標を確認。
And you can even see that suru in the previous expression in the past tense form した. So を中心とした. And this functions in the exact same way, so you can put this either before a noun to modify that noun, or you can put it at the end of a sentence. So like here, centered on the Chiyoda War, everywhere suddenly became a demon world.
18年前、千代田区を中心とした23区内全土が突如魔界化し、現世から消滅した。
Or centered on this point. This is very much like that sphere, centered on that one point. この地点を中心にした。
この地点を中心にした半径30キロ程度の範囲にいた人間は深刻な精神汚染を受けて。
And you can see this とした also being read as にした. They're very, very similar. It's just a slight different nuance. And the difference between とする and にする is very, very minor and not really worth stressing about too much. Generally, totsuru is used in a little bit more formal situations, stating how something is, some sort of determined fact, for example, like for example if you're reporting the news. Whereas ni suru, it has a little bit less determined feel to it. But as you can see, they're very, very similar, and the nuance actually gets lost completely in translation. If you want to learn more about this, I suggest doing a little bit of research into the difference between totsuru and ni suru. Perhaps I'll make a video on that one day if you guys want. Or like here in Neon Genesis, centered on the Tokai regions, a special emergency was declared.
東海地方を中心とした関東中部全域に特別非常事態宣言が発令されました。
Or like here in Relayer, the Atlas Corporation is centered on financial and telecommunications.
アトラスコーポレーション、通称アトラス。金融通信業を中心とした財閥系軍事企業の最大手さ。
So it's pretty straightforward. Just remember that を中心に、を中心にする and を中心とする, as well as suru being used in the tef form and the past tense form, all just mean that something is centered on, focused on, or mainly about the thing that comes before it. And then the action follows. Something is spreading around the noun. You are studying something focused on the noun. Grammar, for example. The real key thing is that you have this center point. There's perhaps a sphere and the center point is where that thing is happening. Or perhaps you have your focus and the center point of your focus. Or perhaps there's a whole bunch of things you're doing, but you're mainly doing that center thing. It's really here expressing the center point, centered on, centered around. But you can also see it used translated like focused on or even mainly. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully all these examples helped you kind of visualize how this o chushin ni is used as a grammar point. Thanks so much guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you're enjoying learning Japanese. If you like this video and want to help support the channel, then make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment to help the algorithm. And if you really enjoy the videos, then consider coming joining us on the Game Gengo Discord community, either through the Game Gengo website directly, or you can also go through Patreon. You can support the channel, connect with the community, and even get help with your Japanese. So thanks so much guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you again in the next video. See you guys.